Hello again. So today I'd like to talk about how to exist in a society that seems to be getting louder and louder. Now, tonight I went to a restaurant that was very loud. Uh, like one of these restaurants with open ductwork, which seems to, well, I don't know if it's the norm, but it's been very popular, right, for decades now, I think. And it's probably cheaper to do, right? To have open ductwork. There are a lot of things where it's like the style seems to be in some style, and there's probably like some profit motive behind it. Like, oh, isn't it nice? I've wondered about this is probably not true, but I'm just going to say it. I've wondered about things like uh, who decided that like half raw steak is like is like better. I mean, of course I do. I mean, I'm conditioned like anybody else. Like I probably agree to an extent. But like, although I don't really like to eat that kind of thing that much. It's been a while since I've had something like that. But it's like, oh, isn't it convenient that the restaurant that has a profit motive, like they just slightly cook it and they scoff like, ho 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 ho, if you don't want it like that. And uh, and then other people like I don't want to be seen as like wrong. So yeah. I'm really fancy too. I also like bloody meat. I also like uncooked food. Yeah, it's cool. And like sushi, it's just uh, people will be so like this is not like I know this is like me just being an idiot. Perhaps you could say it fine. I really like sushi, or I mean I have, but like you can like it's really fancy to like you have to spend a lot for food that is just like assembling it, and then there'll be like some thing about like the really old guy who's like 90 years old. I mean, this is cruel. I'm not trying to be cruel. I guess maybe I am. There's this, and it's like oh look at the master at work putting the piece of fish on the rice. And that's like really expensive. And it's of course it's in the best interests of sushi restaurants for you to think that there's something extremely expensive about that rather than this should be cheaper because they don't even have to cook. Aside from the rice, look, they barely have to do anything. And I know people would be wildly offended by that. Some people, people who are certain people, but my point is just that there's profit motive behind so many things, and so many things are considered maybe like normal, but there's probably some profit motive behind it. Everything seems like that, doesn't it? Everything is just people with a profit motive, these beastly animals, and they just put some mask on to pretend that there's something other than that going on. Like if you make it your mission in life, like if you really want to help people, and you feel it, this we're it looks like this is just it's nature with a mask on, like I've said in some, I'm pretty sure I said that in some other video. And the strong person is just like the brutish animal who just gets what they want through brute force, and the weak person is also just a selfish animal who gets what they want through a sort of camouflage. You know? And we as a society worship weakness. Now, to a certain degree, we do, right? That's just that method. There's just two methods to being a selfish animal. It's kind of like direct and indirect. And if you were in the position of the brute, you'd be the brute. If you were in the position of the weak animal, of the weak person, you'd be the weak person, and you'd be selfish either way. And we're all doing it, right? So if we're all doing it, then I guess maybe there's not really a problem here. You know, Americans. Do you think if sushi was American, like like if it originated as an American thing? Actually, you know, a lot of like sort of like a certain amount of it, like rolls and stuff, right? It already is kind of like Americanized sushi. I'm pretty sure that's true if you look into it. But if it was just like uh, of American origin, would people be like, "This is a joke that it costs so much"? But we like to worship other countries for some reason, like oh, it's European. Oh, that means it's special, right? And then you get like stuff that's like it's German, and the main selling point almost is that it's German. You know, anyway. Of course, maybe that's because you know maybe as Americans we rush and do stuff in a rushed quantity over quality more than any other country, and it's kind of like a virus that has spread out of the United States and kind of infested the whole world. So there, I mean, there's that. Uh, but if you go somewhere like some historical European city, it's just kind of like it's just a carcass of something that once was interesting, and it's just kind of this Americanized garbage now, isn't it? It's just like the old, interesting, like sort of medieval-looking uh, city, Victorian-looking city, and with just like Americanized chain things in it, and all these, and it's just kind of like, well, it's still there, so. But they're still just getting DoorDash. It's just full of people getting DoorDash and using their phones. It's just a carcass of something interesting. I'm really getting sidetracked here. Okay. What did I want to talk about in this video? Noise. Loudness. So, now, I have to admit, I don't think words are going to really help anyone here. Uh, Anybody watching this, I can't even help myself with words. So how can I help you with words? Because I think words are like inches, and we need millimeters to get somewhere interesting. And it's kind of like words are like a compressed image. Like if you compress an image enough, like on a computer, you know, you won't even know what it is. And I think that's what words are like. You know, the word of God, or something like that. The phrase. It's a phrase. It's just words, but it might be very contradictory. It might come out very contradictory, if that's a thing. I look, like what I'm trying to say is the truth probably is very contradictory when you try to put it into words, because words don't do it justice. You can't put it into words, so it just comes out as like gobbledygook. Meaning you don't, perhaps, I haven't read them all. I don't know that you can really read religious texts and really get to the truth from them, because words are never going to be enough. But I don't really know what I'm talking about. Just to be clear, this is I've already said this channel is somebody's inner work, and I encourage you to do the same thing I'm doing and make your own channel doing this. Just singing your tune, so to speak. This channel, I could view it as an art project. I kind of like to view it as an art project. And it's like these are improvisational musical performances. Now the channel's up, and I have a couple subscribers, so thank you. So anyway, to be able to deal with, I was in a restaurant. It was very, very loud. I don't remember if I said that. I think I did. Okay, it was really, really loud. And it's like everything's blown out. It's like everything's compressed to the point that it's just the same dynamic range, because our brains can only handle a certain level of loudness. And so it's like what would be like interesting dynamics, like it gets loud and then it gets quiet, and then loud and then quiet. It's just like loud, like, ah, don't you like this? What? Don't you like this? Ah, you know, and they're there, and there's and like, it's just like, you're there, and it's just like, it feels like pigs at the trough. I mean, that's me too. I'm not saying I wasn't at the restaurant, okay? But like, I was kind of disgusted by it though. Like, ugh, this is all just so material. It's disgusting. You know, I'm sick of being a material being, and I wonder how many people feel the same way. And it's words that have done that. It's just words that have done that. You know, there's nothing material inherently about anything. There isn't anything inherently material about food. Isn't it just energy? It's all just energy exchange, isn't it? At the end of the day, this is all, well, I don't know. At the end of the day, I can't say what it is. Energy exchange is just a word. Spirituality is just a word. God is just a word. Heaven is just a word. Hell is just a word, etc., etc. I'm going to try to get a better microphone. There's like, well, I don't want, yeah, I'm going to try to get a better microphone to plug into this thing. I just think that might improve the audio quality a little bit. But one thing I don't really want to do is compress my voice, because lately I've gotten very sensitive to compression. Just like compression itself is just It turns 3D into 2D, whether it's music or talking or anything. You go into nature, nature's uncompressed. Of course, nature's everything. I get that. Nature includes brick wall compression, loudness war, whatever. But I think you get what I'm saying. Anyway, we were in this restaurant, and it's so loud. It's just like, wah. It doesn't really matter if it's fluctuating dynamically at that point. It doesn't matter if obviously it's not one fixed dynamic level. Like it is, there is a bit of a, but the whole thing is just so loud. I don't think that the human brain can really handle that very easily. Of course, how are the people there? How are the people there? How are they okay? I think they're probably so distracted by things that they don't really realize how they're blown out. We're out, like, so many people are like blown out speakers. So even the food itself feels loud. The portions are big, and everything. There's so much like really vinegary, acidic stuff, and it's just like, I, and we pay for that for some reason. Are you just sick of that? Sick of physical existence? I'm curious how many people are sick of physical existence. Let me know in the comments. And I don't mean this in like a depressed way. I mean, I'm just over it. I'm just over physical existence. I'd like to be an energy being. Of course, we already are energy beings. I've talked about that in another video. But I'd really like to get over the hallucination that we're not. I'd like to operate from here up. Everything below gets just what it gets. It gets just enough. Just enough. We're not, there's just a torture going on here. I'm not talking about starving yourself. But there is a point where you're just sick of physical existence. You're just over it. So we're at that restaurant, and there's this waitress who has to like yell, like this poor waitress. You know, she has to, well, I mean, she's making money, right? But at the expense of her hearing, I guess. I mean, I think people have different levels of. I think that the level to get hearing damage is probably varies a lot, and they just kind of have to come up with some kind of consensus because there needs to be a guideline, right? There has to be, like, if it turned out there was a massive range of what decibel level needs to be caused, decibel level you have to cross to get hearing damage, like a big range, then it would be difficult to have standards, unless they go with like kind of the bottom out, like the most extreme outliers. And we're probably too. It's just too loud as it is for that. But I'm not. I mean, I think you understand what I'm saying. So, but she has to yell to take our orders. The whole thing is like, hi, what would you like? Hi, everybody, are you done? Can I take that? And the whole thing is just like yelled, like at one fixed decibel level, just, you know, one level, like as loud as she can talk, basically. And this is like 8 hours a day, I guess, doing that. I mean, why do we tolerate a society that's like that? It's like if you can get sensitive to like, okay, like is texting and like text communication partly to blame here, or is it just like or is that why we're okay with that? Because it's like, well, it's just words. What do you mean? It doesn't matter if what do we mean? We're blown out speakers, right? There's no energy under the words. There's no more finer thing. Like the energy under the word, like the words are inches, but the energy, the way it goes up and down as you talk really, as you goes up and you ask a question, and or you ask a question, and the tone, it shifts and it goes up and down. One word, there could be like a line. I've said this in another video, that goes up and down, and you could trace all this complicated dynamic information. That's more like millimeters, you know. That's not in text. The hope, I guess, is that you read text and go back to, and like mentally kind of just happen to follow sort of the energy of the person who, energetic flow or something of whoever wrote it originally. Hopefully it matches or something, or something like that, right? And you know, like in classical music, there's quite a lot of dynamics, right? It gets really loud and really quiet, and if you're listening to it with, you probably have to adjust your volume. I mean, unless you have it very loud. Because it gets very quiet and it gets loud. I mean, the quiet parts will become inaudible once you turn it up, or well, I mean, you get what I'm saying. And or even like electronic music, I mean, music that has a kind of like a throbbing electronic thing has, you know, there's dynamics in that. Kinda. It's a bit more. No, I mean it's there, you know. Like a throb, you know. As I mentioned, these videos, I'm kind of trying to view them as musical performances because I think that talking in a certain way that you can, it's sort of a skill that can be developed that's kind of interesting. I don't know if skill that can be developed is quite the right way to put it, because I would say that the way I'm writing, the way I'm doing these videos is not exactly skill based. But I mean, it's like, there was a way of talking where you kind of let it's like you don't touch it much. You just kind of let it run. Uh, so I guess that's probably a good place to stop this video. You know, they stop abruptly at times. Yeah, I encourage you to do the thing, so to speak. I have a feeling this is a little piece that's, I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy and most people aren't doing this. I mean, I don't think most people are doing this. Why would I say it like that? I don't think a lot of, I don't know who's doing this. But you can look at that and it dissolves, it vaporizes. And if the truth is beyond words, it might be good to put this into practice, because if you have a constant stream of words, you're entirely lost in words, and I'm telling you, the words are too lossy, they won't do it. You can't get there. You can't, I'm not saying I've got it anywhere. I'm not saying I've got it anywhere. But words can't get you there. Of course, maybe they can. Let me know if they can. Let me know how words themselves, I'm not talking about talking, I'm talking about words. You know, digitized talking. I don't think it's good enough. It will never get us anywhere. They cannot get us anywhere except further distortion. All right, I'm talking a little bit more now. So I just say that and look, I'm saying words. What's going on here? But anyway, the original me and you, whatever that means. The original me and you is beyond words. You could say it's the original distortion. I mean, that's kind of putting a negative spin on things, but I think humanity is a creation of that. Humanity itself is a creation of the original me and you. Like humanity itself is distortion. There's like It's like cosmic love, the original me and you. And that is also distortion. Look, see, I put a positive and negative spin on it. But then it leads to one-on-one love, human being love, and that's further distortion. Even the oneness type love, like all the humans together, that's between these two things, I guess. Between the individual two people and the cosmic love I'm talking about. But you feel people are the ones who are the most distorted about this. Humans are so distorted about this. Like, you can feel this if you go outside and look at trees, you can feel it's there. I'm not willing to just exclude the trees from love. They get it more than us, it seems like. It seems like everything gets it more than us. To a degree. But then again, all I have is this biased human perspective. I have no idea. I have no idea what anything is. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I have no idea what's going on. Everything is subjective, or maybe, or who knows, or even saying subjective, that's a word. I don't know anything. I don't really know anything. As I said in another video, I'm just secondhand crap. I am a remix. How do we get at something original? Actually original. Imagination, it's a remix machine. Anyway, so that last part, I'll probably make another video where I talk a bit more about that. If you like, I'm wrapping up now. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel. And I guess maybe I should start saying please like the video, because they say stuff like, you read things that say like, people really are that suggestible. Like if you say like the video, please like it. I don't know, that feels kind of, I don't mind saying please subscribe. I'm going to try to, but you could like the video, sure. If you like it, like it. And I'd appreciate that. But, and subscribe, obviously. I encourage you to make your own channel like this. This is like, some people would call it like shadow work. That's just words. Those are just words. I have a feeling various things like Jungian shadow work, Kundalini, things like this. I don't know anything about this, and I know people who say they're experts on this. I probably say I'm wrong. That's fine. But I think there's lots of words for the same thing. A reconciliation of a certain type. But I encourage you to make your own YouTube channel like this, because what it is you make these videos, and then you listen back to them, because you have to be able to, you have to edit them and stuff. I mean, not that there's much editing going on, but you have to probably listen to it a little, right? So you listen to them, and then the ones that you like, the ones that you vibe well with, I'll put it that way. The ones that you want to reinforce the vibe of in your own reality, you keep those. And the other ones, maybe you throw a few out that are like, that you don't really want to go in that direction. But, like, this is a way to like be your own guide. You don't want like you need to be your own guide. I mean, or not. You don't have to. But I do think this is like a thing. Spirituality videos are mostly just inner work. It's just I don't know that everybody will tell you this. You know, they want views and stuff, and they want to say that they have something that you couldn't get at yourself. Or maybe they genuinely think that they can help you, but I mean, like, you know, if you just listen to music, it can be like some sort of that's better than words. That's superior to words. Music is superior to words. I'll say that. Talking in a way is music, though, isn't it? But you can get hung up with talking. Maybe some people just like words. I mean, if you like words, if you like digitized talking, I mean, then that's fine. See, why am I even saying this? Obviously, lots of people like words. But I do think that this, and we wouldn't have this reality if people didn't want it, right? Why is it here? This is what we want. We get what we want. It's here. But I'm interested if there are other people who are, please let me know in the comments if you're sick of being a physical being. Like you really just, like I'm just over being a physical being. It's just, okay, I'll eat the food, keep the engine running, I guess. Keep it running as long as you can, maybe just because, I don't know. I was gonna say like because you want to pour as much energy as you can up here, but I mean, is that even necessary? Like, what, prolong this? This is not like, so, I'm not trying to say something dark here. It's just, I mean, physical isn't real. It's just not real. It's just blatantly clear. Physical isn't real. And, you know, this video's probably gone on, this video's gone on long enough. This is really all over the place video. But I'm going to just keep making these. Again, thank you for my first few subscribers. Thank you to them. Anyway, if you like the content, I don't like. See, okay, I don't like the word content. If you like it though, please subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate that. Bye.